Our Father, who art in heaven.
What is up, you guys and girls? Since the new Exorcist movie has just come out, I decided to have a little throwback to the original 1973 The Exorcist and tell you everything you need to know about the movie. Warning, there will be spoilers in this, and it may also contain strong language. With that out of the way, let's get spooky. We start off the movie in northern Iraq, where we see a bunch of men playing Minecraft in real life. We meet this old man, Father Marin, who becomes important later in the movie. The priest puts his hand in a big hole in the sand and fishes out a little statue. He decides to take the piece of rock to an expert nearby, and we're told it's some kind of evil talisman. Father Marin thanks the expert with a big hug. Almost gets killed by a horse, and finds a bigger version of the evil piece of rock before heading back to the States. We get introduced to Chris McNeil and her daughter Reagan. They're staying in Washington, D.C. because Mommy has to shoot a movie here. About 15 minutes into the movie, we finally meet Reagan, who tries to steal a cookie but gets rugby tackled by her babysitter. We then also meet our other main character, Father Caris.
You hopping all over the boy. I'm a Catholic.
Nope. We learn that Caris used to be a fighting machine, but has changed his career to fighting spooky demons. He visits his sick mom to take care of her, but we see him bailing as soon as she takes a nap. We cut back to Reagan, who tells her mom she's been playing with a Ouija board and talking to her friend called Captain Howdy. I personally would already have burned the board, including the house, and go back to wherever we came from. But Mom shakes it off and thinks it's cute, and noise is being heard from the attic. The mother is still really not giving a shit and heads up there to check it out. Suddenly her candle decides to blow up and she doesn't even get startled. We get a weird church scene with some abstract vandalism. Regan is then taken to a hospital for some checkups. We get our first glimpse of the evil entity inside of Reagan. The doctor says it's some disorder of the nerves, and they leave. Reagan's mom throws a party. Some priest goes crazy after being called a word I cannot share on YouTube by the director of the movie the mom plays in, and they start wrestling.
What's for dessert?
And they decide it's time for a piano party. Reagan shows the old people she's not a big fan of their performance.
You're gonna die up there.
And gets put into the bath of shame. Poor babysitter scrubbing Reagan's piss off the floor. Mother comes home when she hears Reagan screaming. The family goes back to the doctor. Reagan gets a little touchy and Doc tells them she has brain damage. Reagan gets a head scan. The results turn out to be normal and they go home again. Reagan's symptoms start to get worse and the doctor visits them at home. The 12-year-old girl starts headbanging, whacks the fuck out of the doctor and tells him she's not crazy. Of course the doc still thinks she's cray-cray and gets her to have another head scan. Results are normal again, so back home they go. I would have already disinherited her and fly to Mexico, but her mom decides her best option is to call a psychiatrist. Also, the psychiatrist thinks Reagan is a little cuckoo, but he tries to talk to the other voice inside her.
I'm speaking to the person inside of Reagan now.
Reagan just grunts and gets pissed off again.
Are you the person inside of Reagan?
The doctors want to take Reagan into the crazy people facility, but Miss McNeil strongly disagrees. They then tell her there's another solution. An exorcism.
You're telling me that I should take my daughter to a witch doctor?
Reagan starts having another episode, but this time a little more extreme.
Lick Jesus, fuck you! Lick Jesus, fuck you! Lick me!
you know what she did? Your canting daughter?
Mother McNeil is desperate and meets with Father Caris.
How do you go about getting an exorcism?
Beg your pardon?
They talk about Reagan and Father agrees to pay her a visit. Reagan apparently knows Father Caris' mom's name and treats him with some stomach soup. Caris is upset and leaves. He comes by the next day and messes with the little girl for a bit.
Did you do that?
What's that?
Holy water?
It burns! Oh, it burns!
He throws some holy water over her and she screams in agony. He later tells the mom the water wasn't holy at all but just tap water, so basically Father Caris thinks Reagan is crazy as well. Caris decides to listen back to some of the audio recordings taken in Reagan's room and keeps hearing the name Marin, which is the name of the priest we saw in the beginning. Father Caris starts believing the little girl is actually possessed and goes to ask if he can go and perform an exorcism on Reagan. The request is accepted, but only if he gets assistance from another priest. Of course, that turns out to be Father Marin. The whole gang meets up at the McNeil house and they introduce each other, only to get interrupted by our annoying little drama queen.
An honor to meet you, Father.
They go into Reagan's room and are immediately faced with all kinds of hate slurs.
In worthless cocksucker.
Be silent!
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be our trespasses, as we forgive those.
Some of iniquity be powerless to harm. Your mother sucks cocks in hell,
O Lord, hear my
Caris.
prayer.
They drench her in holy water, which seems to be quite effective for a short time. Reagan starts to leak for some reason, and we find out the exorcism is not working at all. Father Marin gets furious, but Reagan still doesn't give a damn and starts throwing hands.
God the Father commands you.
We then see the statue from the intro scene in her bedroom. Father Caris goes into the room to find Father Marin laying dead on the bed. This was the final straw for him, and he starts beating the shit out of the 12-year-old girl.
You son of a bitch!
He then sacrifices himself by forcing the demon to take him instead.
Take me! Take me!
And he jumps to his death through the bedroom window, ending the possession. We skip to some time later where we see Reagan normal again and they leave the house like nothing ever happened. So remember kids, never mess around with Ouija boards or weird doctors that call you crazy. That's all I got for you guys in this video. Let me know if you enjoyed by leaving a like and maybe a little click on that subscribe button. Let me know which movie to cover next time. And for now, see you in your dreams.